Welcome to the Endless Wrench Review channel. Actually, this is the Catus Maximus channel, and here I have a review of the Craftsman 6-point box wrench set. These are pretty hard to find stocked anywhere. As a matter of fact, the only time I ever have seen 6-point box wrenches in stock was at Sears. I've had these for about 15 years and needed them for some certain situations, and yeah, I've used hammers on these in all sorts of situations where you really shouldn't use a box wrench, but they become incredibly handy. And being 6-point, you don't have to worry about, blowing out the fastener. And so many times it's like a ratchet or a T-handle and socket. That's still too much play. You really need like just a single piece of metal connected to the fastener. Let's go ahead and take a close look at one of these. 17 millimeters is about the best. I was pretty critical in my Harbor Freight long handle box wrench set review, but these Craftsmans do share some of the same issues. But as far as one of the really nice ones, let's get a little more zoom there so you can get a nice close-up. They do some rounding. It's semi-fluting. It was always interesting. Craftsman did light fluting, but they're definitely not square. And when I do some Proto tool reviews, you'll see Proto was like the last to the party when it comes to fluting their wrenches and sockets. These are the American-made ones. They have nice little chamfers on the end of the box ends. Pretty decent broaching through there. And these were the old American-made ones. These didn't have the best finish, but they were really competitively priced. What I mean by having their own issues is such as this 18 millimeter. You can see that there is some warpage. Actually, it's bent quite a bit. So much of it, as a matter of fact, that if you put it on the table, you can spin it around by the center of the wrench. It's actually that bent. But it's not a big deal because of how these have saved me from corroded fasteners and situations where would have had to remove other components to get ratchets on there. Instead, I could use these and literally, push them with my foot, stand on them, or hit them with a brass hammer, and save me a bunch of time and hassle and effort. I've really been impressed on how tight the fit is on these. Let's get a closer look again. Let's see if we can't show you the gap. Whoop. I want to get the appropriate size. Quite a bit of gap when you use too big of a wrench. There, you can just see the little sliver of light. And that's really evidenced too by the fact that the bolt hardly moves around in the end of this box wrench. The same thing goes for the open end. It's also really pretty nice and tight. Nice tight broaching, and I appreciate that. I also like the fact that they print the size right on the end of the wrench as well as in the middle of the wrench. So it's actually, I thought that was pretty wise. Makes it a lot easier to find. You could even have these wrenches tucked in some place, and you could just see the ends of the wrenches and easily be able to pull out what size you needed. Some of the wrenches, other inconsistencies is like on this 17 millimeter, the box ends are really pretty nice and square. Where if we go down to say this one size down to 16 millimeter, you see it's not as square. It's much more rounded and kind of bulbous. The sizing is still great on all these, and I would have recommended them because I think this whole set was cheap. I think I paid $50 or $40. I mean, a really amazing price. This is a 14-piece set, so it's all the ones that they had on the shelf. I'm not sure if it's all the ones that Craftsman made. Anyway, I just wanted to bring a review of 6-point wrenches and talk about the virtues of 6-point wrenches and how I generally highly do recommend them. Even if, you can't find Craftsman or you're not into Craftsman tools due to the issue of getting warranties on them, I would recommend any manufacturer. And, you don't need a whole set, but if you have some certain sizes that, removing transmissions, stuff like that, absolutely. You find that the times that you need 12-point for the lower sweep angle aren't as much as you initially thought compared to using 6 points where they just connect to the fastener in a real solid fashion, and you're just able to get your work done. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Catus Maximus out.